For 28 years, I haven't given up spending New Year's Eve in God's presence. Because for me it's something beyond. It's supernatural in my life because it was there that I found peace. It was the first time I spent New Year's Eve in God's presence that I found the right path, the right direction for my life, for my family. I found direction to live the whole year. It's something that only those who spend New Year's Eve in God's presence can explain. It's beyond explanation. It's wonderful. We have direction for our lives, we have happiness, we have a year of peace. Because it wasn't like that before, quite the opposite. I was a very anxious, very sad, very depressed person. I had no peace in my marriage because I got married thinking I was going to be happy, but it was the opposite. That's where I experienced the greatest unhappiness of my life, because my husband started cheating on me right from the start. The last New Year's Eve I spent before I met the Lord Jesus was the worst of all, because I traveled to my hometown to my family. As soon as we got there, they already had a mistress. Then I had 5 minutes, I went crazy and I grabbed my brother. My brother didn't want to go, but I forced him to go to this woman's house. I forced him to tell me where it was. When we got there, I grabbed a stick and went after her, but I didn't kill her because he got in the way. So that was the worst New Year's Eve of my life. Faced with so much suffering, I was already planning to kill my family. I was so distressed that I didn't know what to do anymore. I didn't know what to do anymore. I put my face to the ground and spoke to God. I said, "My God, if you exist anywhere, you will hear my prayer. You will give me the right direction. You will no longer let me knock on the wrong door. You will take me out of this suffering which I can no longer endure." After that prayer, my husband came to me one day and said, "Anna, shall we go to that church my brother mentioned?" It was something so divine that I will never forget that day. It was a Friday, January 24th, 1997. We went out looking for the church, and on the way we met a lovely couple. I'll never forget that couple. We asked, "Do you know where the Universal Church is?" He said, "Yes, I know, we're coming from there, from the 6 p.m. meeting. But there's going to be another meeting." So we attended the meeting. It was a Friday. When Sunday came, we went back, and from then on we never stopped going. The transformation of our lives began. God started taking away the suffering I had inside me, that anguish, that feeling of inferiority, transforming it into something more inward. My inner self was transformed. I began to realize that I no longer had that suffering inside me. I no longer had that anguish. I realized that there was peace within me. Then my home began to take shape. There began to be unity. There was peace. My husband never went out again. After that day, he was never sought out by a lover again. My first New Year's Eve in the presence of God is unforgettable, because that's when I truly knew happiness. It was completely different. It was a New Year's Eve filled with happiness, peace, a moment totally different from those we usually experienced. I wouldn't give up a New Year's Eve spent in God's presence. There's no way around it, because it's the only way for us to be happy. And it's something different. Wow, I'll never forget that New Year's Eve. Me and my family together, my husband, my children. I never forget. Every year, every New Year's Eve, when midnight strikes, I introduce my family, I introduce my projects, I introduce my life, my entire year. Because there's no way for us to predict what next year will be like. But since I place it in God's hands, I'm certain that He will keep it safe, that He will protect it because it's in His hands. Even though I don't know what awaits me throughout the year, I have absolute certainty that it will be a year of peace. No matter how difficult the situations may be, He provides the solution for all of them. And since 1998, I have never again spent a New Year's Eve outside the house of the Lord Jesus. In the house of God, never again. Because it doesn't make sense, it has no meaning. It only makes sense in God's house.